When you're calling me or another Jew a Zionist, I mean, it's the best thing you can call us.
I feel like you're the perfect person to actually debunk some of these ridiculous myths and lies that have been spread.
If you believe that Jews have the right to self-govern in their own homelands, then you're a Zionist.
From ages 20 to 33, I didn't come to Israel once, and that was easily the biggest mistake of my life.
Like, Jews are massacred in the most barbaric, slaughtered in the most barbaric of ways, and no remorse by society was shown. They were celebrating it, like you said.
The difference between Israel and Hamas and all of the radical Islamic leadership is that Israel actually values human life. The Jews have so much ancestral trauma.
No matter where we lived in the world, we have so much trauma.
But you can't talk about that because then you're playing the victim. Were your parents born in Iran?
Yeah, so basically my family and my ancestors settled in Persia, as it was once called, in Iran, and they were there since the destruction of the first temple.
What would you say is the biggest tikkun that you had to heal from? What is up? Welcome back to the Jeremy Awakens podcast. Today's guest is a very, very special woman. We have Celine Rouben in the building, and Celine is a visionary speaker, content creator, and storyteller who has built a powerful platform by staying true to her voice and her Jewish values. She's passionate about inspiring young Jewish women to be proud of their identity and really reconnect to their Jewish roots. So this conversation, we dive deep into Celine's journey, the highs, the lows, the obstacles, the challenges, the lessons learned along the way. And Celine, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Really, really grateful to have you. I want to start off by talking about your journey to moving to Israel. Mm-hmm. So it was right before the war, right? Like 3 years ago, you said, actually?
So almost 3 years ago. It was, I believe, end of January of 2023. So It was in the beginning of 2023.
Got it.
I mean, before that, I was always like kind of back and forth. And then I was here October 7th. So I was here during the war. Pretty much most of the war I was here in Israel. And really there's nowhere else I would have rather have been, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you were telling me before we started recording that it was challenging for your family, especially your parents, for you to make Aliyah and leave LA, which is where I think most of your family's at, and making the move to Jerusalem. Like, what has been, would you say for you personally, like what's been, I guess, the biggest area of growth since you've been here, maybe that you couldn't access in America?
So for me, I feel like I am really my truest, highest self when I'm in Israel, specifically when I'm in Yerushalayim. And it's just like the place I feel like where I can grow to my fullest potential. And I feel like a lot of Jews relate to that as well. Like, I feel like maybe you might relate to that in some ways where you're like, I feel drawn to be in Israel, you know? And for me, I've always wanted to be better, get better in every part of my life, whether it's like, you know, better as a daughter, better as a sister, better whatever. And so for me, I feel like being in Israel, that's where I can reach my highest potential, my fullest potential. And when I'm in the diaspora, I feel like I can't do that, you know? And I think that's what also made me want to move to Israel. After I finished law school, and I finished the bar exam and everything, I kind of went through this back and forth with myself where I was like, I had this like pull where I was like, I feel like I need to be in Israel. I feel like I finished everything that I needed to finish in LA, in the diaspora. And that, you know, it was time for me to go to Israel. But it wasn't an easy decision because I'm so close to my family. And, you know, I never left. I never went away for college, never went away. I was always in LA. So for them, it was like kind of, you know, how can you just leave? But I feel like they always might have felt like I would end up coming to Israel. It's crazy. Like, there are videos of me at the age of 4 years old that we recently found. And I'm speaking full Farsi, by the way, which is insane that I'm speaking full Farsi, like fluent, as if I just like got off the boat from Iran. It's insane. But anyways, I'm like telling my parents to like begging them to take me to Israel. And I've never even been to Israel yet. So like,
and you're speaking in Farsi?
And I'm saying it in Farsi, yeah.
And this is in LA?
Yeah, this is in LA.
Were your parents born in Iran?
Yeah, so basically my family and my ancestors settled in Persia, as it was once called, in Iran. And they were there since the destruction of the first temple, when the Babylonians destroyed the first temple in Jerusalem. And then that's where my ancestors settled in. And they never left until 1979 during the Islamic Revolution. And my mom ended up coming here with her family to Israel, and she grew up in Israel. So she spent most of her childhood here. And so she's, Israeli Persian. And then my dad, he came here for a few years, and then he went to LA. So they ended up meeting in LA. But yeah, my ancestors lived in Persia, in Iran, for thousands of years, and but they always maintained their Jewish identity. Like they always knew where they came from, which was Israel. My grandfather, my great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, they always identified themselves as Bnei Israel, as the children of Israel. So they always, maintained a strong Jewish identity. My great-grandfather was like a Torah scholar. He made like a pilgrimage to Jerusalem from Iran, like crazy stuff. Yeah.
You have a strong lineage.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And I think the last couple of months since everything happened with Iran back in June, I've received so many messages from the people of Iran saying like, we support Israel. Like the people of Iran are absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people get confused because like this whole war with Iran it's not a war between people, right? It's a war between this radical Islamic
occupying
leadership that is just committed to the death and destruction of not only the Jewish people, but anyone who doesn't have their radical ideologies. And there was so much peace between Israel and Iran from 1948 to 1979.
Right.
And
yeah, we had political relations with the Shah of Iran and Israel. The Shah, actually, Jews received more rights under the Shah than any other, Persian leader. Obviously Cyrus the Great, but that goes way back. But yeah, I mean, right now we have the Islamic regime that's occupying Iran, and Iranians want to be freed from the regime. So, and a lot of them understand what Israelis are going through with Hamas and Hezbollah, who are the I guess the children of the Islamic regime. And so they understand what Israelis are going through. So that's why they're showing support for Israel. A lot of them were excited about the fact that Israel was bombing the nuclear sites in Iran. And a lot of them, Persians and Jews share a very strong relationship. They're two ancient peoples who speak two ancient languages. They even share the same symbol, which is that of the lion. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah. The original Iranian flag, it has the symbol of the lion. Like that's their symbol. And then we have the Lion of Judah. And I mean, it was Cyrus the Great, and last night in Jerusalem when we were at that tour, she talked briefly about Cyrus the Great, who had this like divine prophecy where he, liberated the Jewish people, and he allowed the Jews to return back to Jerusalem and rebuild their second temple. So we've always had a strong relationship, Persians and Jews.
Yeah.
And so B'ezrat Hashem will have that strong relationship again one day.
Yeah. I think also, by the way, have you always been really tapped into like the Jewish history? Or is that that something that new since you moved here 3 years ago?
No, it started a while ago.
Okay.
I feel like I was always kind of like interested in learning more. Like I took classes in college. I just always wanted to learn more about our history. And I would say what like initially fueled my desire in wanting to learn more was coming to this realization many years ago that I didn't fully understand the story of our people as Jews. I didn't understand what it meant to be a Jew. I didn't understand where we actually come from because I didn't feel like I was from Iran, right? Like, and also what Israel even means to us on a deeper level. I didn't understand these things. And, because for me growing up, I always saw myself as a Jew first before anything. I didn't see myself as just Persian or Iranian or American. Like for me, being a Jew came first. And, by the way, this isn't to say that I don't love or appreciate or respect my Persian heritage. I love the Persian culture and the food and the music and the warmth of the people. But, for me, being a Jew always came first. And it also came first to those whose countries that we were residing in. When we were living in Iran, Morocco, Russia, Poland, we weren't considered to be, Iranian, Polish, Moroccan, and or Russian or whatever. We were always identified as Jews in our host countries, in our diaspora countries, or Yehud or Yud. So our Jewishness was always recognized wherever we lived, even though most of the time they misunderstood our Jewishness, but they still recognized it.
I think it's really important that you speak about this because even myself, like I have a lack of knowledge for like my own ancestry, let alone like the collective Jewish ancestry.
Yeah.
So I think like taking people back to their roots and the history is so important for actually having a deeper appreciation.
Yeah. That's what got me, I would say, like diving deep into my history and into, our traditions, our culture as Jews, just like the essence of Jewish life in general, and understanding like the why, why do we keep certain things? Why do we observe this holiday? Why do we keep Shabbat? Like all of these things, learning the why of it really got me to understand myself better and also just, get deeper into like my Jewish identity and my Judaism as a result. But I feel like as Jews, we really have a fractured understanding of our identity. We spent thousands of years in the diaspora, in exile. So we have like diaspora conditioning and cultural colonization that has been put upon us while living in exile for thousands of years. So I think that we have to go through a process individually and collectively of like undoing these layers of this cultural, colonization, diaspora conditioning that was kind of put upon us, and living under other people's rule as well for thousands of years. So, and I think that's how we can get deeper and closer to our true authentic selves as Jews. And like we really have a problem in this generation and the last generations before in narrating our story to the world in the right way. Like we don't understand, and it comes with just misunderstanding who we are. Like I said, we have like just this fractured understanding of our Jewish identities. So because we don't really know who we are, we're then misunderstood by the world. And this plays into why the world completely like misunderstands us and has hijacked our narrative. They've hijacked our terms like Zionism. It's because we had that responsibility of narrating it to the world and we didn't.
Yeah, that's so true. I feel like also a big way to combat that is to actually come to Israel. Like how many Jews in America and in Europe have never even been here?
Right.
And like from ages 20 to 33, I didn't come to Israel once. And that was easily the biggest mistake of my life.
Right.
Like I don't have many regrets, but that's a massive one.
Can I ask why? Was it just like you didn't have a desire to come here?
Honestly, so I came here after high school.
Okay.
I came to Israel for 9 months and I did a gap year. So I was living in Bat Yam, Jerusalem. I was teaching English, volunteering. Like I was immersed in the culture. And it was honestly the best 9 months of my life. Sure. And I was only 18 at the time. So there's still like so much immaturity, lack of appreciation. And then coming back to America after that, go to University of Oregon. There's not like a huge Jewish community there and kind of just like fall into like normal American culture. Right. And in that process, I got disconnected from Judaism and I never really had a rabbi or a spiritual guide that inspired me to like pursue the path of Judaism more. And
And so did you lean towards like other types of spirituality, I guess you can say, like Eastern?
Yeah, like I really just found my own path. So like I pretty much, when I was 24, 25, I moved to Miami, and then I became a personal trainer. I was always passionate about fitness. And then I went down that rabbit hole, like biohacking, nutrition, holistic health. And then in 2018, I went to Peru and I did ayahuasca for the first time. And that was like a huge awakening for me.
Oh, you told me.
And that also didn't really reconnect me to Judaism, though. It just connected me to like this higher consciousness.
Right.
And it wasn't until, unfortunately, but it's all happening exactly how it's supposed to. Yeah. It wasn't until a month before October 7th where I was just in like this very dark place. Like everything on the outside was okay, but there's something empty. There's this void in my life and I couldn't identify what it was. Right. So there was a full moon and I was like, I'm just going to take a small dose of mushrooms and figure out why I'm feeling like shit. Like why I'm just feeling disconnected. So in that experience, like literally I felt God come right in front of me and be like, Jeremy, what happened, bro? Like you forgot all about me. And I was like, yo, okay. And then.
Is that the first time that you really felt like God's presence, I guess you can say? Or
no,
like,
no.
Did you
like,
believe in Hashem before that?
Yeah. Like I've always believed in God. I just didn't have a consistent relationship.
Okay.
Like I didn't have a daily prayer practice. You know, I didn't really have anything that kept me grounded in that space. Okay. You know, there's periods like where I'm like, oh wow, like I feel connected. And then, you know, it would dissipate shortly thereafter. So that Shabbat, I actually went to Chabad in Miami Beach and I like really connected with one of the rabbis there who was my age, like super young guy. And he was like, he messaged me one morning and he was like, yo, where are you at? Let's have a coffee. So he met me at the coffee shop I was at and he brought us tefillin and he was like, do you want to wrap tefillin? And I'm like, sure. Okay. And then it just became a routine. Like we would do it. And then a couple of my friends who I would go to this coffee shop and work with, like 3 or 4 of us started rapping. Then like if a Jewish person came, they would like look and we'd be like, yo, are you Jewish? And like, come join us. And all of a sudden we had like a minion at this coffee shop.
This is before October 7th.
This was like, like when we started building momentum was like after. Because the awakening happened like a month before October 7th. And then basically after October 7th happened, I couldn't sleep through the night.
Right.
Like every single morning, 3 or 4 a.m., like it literally felt like God was waking me up and be like, you need to speak truth. You need to use your platform for speaking up for our people. And at the time, I had never spoken at all about my Judaism or my connection to Israel. So it was like, it was kind of daunting. Right. Because I had built this whole reputation in the health wellness space. Yeah. And I knew I had to speak up. And it was one of the more challenging things because I knew I was going to just receive so much hate. Right. But it was also something that I knew I had to do. Like there was no question. There's no wavering. Right.
You felt a sense of responsibility. Yeah. Which I feel like every Jew has a responsibility to advance Israel, advance the Jewish people in our own unique ways. And we each have a unique light to spread. And you're doing that. So it's amazing. Thank you. And I feel like October 7th really opened, like, really revealed to each Jew. I'm not saying every single Jew, but most Jews really revealed their inner light. Yeah. So I feel like that was a positive. I mean, it's so sad to say, but like that there was something good that came out of that horrific day. Yeah. It was also, I remember it was a wake-up call. What frustrated me the most, obviously October 7th, the most devastating day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust. And it was all of the backlash that Israel was receiving literally on October 8th. People, hundreds of thousands of people parading and celebrating in the streets of this massacre.
and speaking out against Israel before Israel even retaliated and went into Gaza. I was like, how is this possible? How is it possible that this just happened and no one in the world is having sympathy or compassion for the people of Israel? And I was like, this is absolutely insane. Criminal.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't make sense. It's like illogical, completely illogical. But like, I'll just say everything that we're witnessing today, whether it's the blood libels, the false propaganda, the fake narratives, and the crazy attempts to erase our connection to this land, like these are things that have been happening to us for thousands of years, and we're just witnessing the modern mutation of it. Like this obsession and like the hatred that we see with Israel is the modern mutation of the obsession and hatred of Jews. So it's just a repetition of what we've been going through for thousands of years. And, you know, even like you said, like even when they use like these terms like genocide, right? Every single fact contradicts this lie. But because genocide is the ultimate crime against humanity, by accusing Jews of committing the absolute evil, then every other crime that's then committed against Jews in Israel will then be justified, like October 7th, right? Like Jews are massacred in the most barbaric, slaughtered in the most barbaric of ways, and no remorse by society was shown. They were celebrating it, like you said.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, and like I was explaining, like Noah and I were talking, it's like if Israel really wanted to commit a genocide, they easily could have eliminated all 2 million people in Gaza October 8th.
Right.
But
there wouldn't be a war right now.
The difference between Israel and Hamas and all of the radical Islamic leadership is that Israel actually values human life.
Right.
And it's hard for people to fathom the fact that there's people so evil that they'll even use their own children as human shields.
Right.
And I think somehow Hamas was able to flip the script and paint Israel as the perpetrators.
Well, that was part of their plan. They knew exactly what they were doing. This isn't just a physical war. It's a propaganda war. And it's a propaganda war. And they're very good with it. Like Islamic resistance has to be the best propaganda scheme that we've ever seen, honestly. And by the way, that's being partially led by the Islamic regime in Iran, so and Qatar, obviously. But it's a scheme that they've spent also like millions of dollars in, and it's kind of like infiltrated in college campuses in the U.S. in the West, as we see.
What about how crazy it is? Like, again, we have the gays for Gaza, and then we have all of these women and so-called feminists who are literally marching for Palestine. They're marching, essentially supporting Hamas, when it's Hamas and these other terrorist organizations that will literally
subjugate women, rape women. I mean, they raped our Israeli women in the most brutal of ways. And the thing is, like, they filmed everything. They filmed it all. Like, if you want to go find the videos and go see what Hamas terrorists did, you can go online and search it very easily. You can find all of it.
And it's also what the Iranian regime does to its own women.
Yeah.
And how they suppress their own freedoms.
Right. Especially the minorities within Iran. Especially the Kurds within Iran. Like, all the minorities. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, it's crazy to me how they can come off as like resistance fighters. It's first of all, colonizers did this for centuries, right? Like to cross over into another, like cross over a border or whatever, into people's homes, rape women, kill children in front of their parents, and slaughter just entire families. And then, and like, how is it possible that they are coming off as innocent? I really don't know. It's insane.
Well, I feel like you're the perfect person to actually debunk some of these ridiculous myths and lies that have been spread, right? And a big lie that has been spread is that Israel are colonizers and they're living on stolen land.
So this whole like fake narrative about Jews being white colonizers is, I mean, it's fabricated by those who are against Jewish sovereignty in the Jewish homeland of Israel, right? So, and by the way, that's what Zionism is. Zionism is the belief in the right for Jews to be sovereign in their homeland of Israel. And because they are against that, they need to try and disconnect Jews from this land as much as possible. So how are they going to do that? By calling us foreign to this land, by calling us white colonizers, right? And this is something that colonizers actually did to us Jews for thousands of years. The Romans, when they colonized our land and renamed this land to Palestine as an act of colonization, they did this in order to separate us from this land as much as possible. And they named it after our former enemies from Greece as a way to embarrass us, right? So this is what colonizers have been doing to us for thousands of years. And that's their way of disconnecting us from this land. And this is the modern version of it by calling us white colonizers. Like, we were never considered, first of all, 6 million of us were murdered. Over 6 million of us were exterminated for not being white. Now all of a sudden we're white. And it's like, even if you ask actual white supremacists today who their number one enemies are, they will tell you that it's Jews. So we're hated by the ultra whites, and then we're hated on the other side, right? Like it's insane.
And it's funny too, because I'll get messages every day saying like, you're racist. Israel is racist. And I'm like, bro, you should come to Israel. Mm-hmm. You should see the amount of Black people who aren't even Jewish from Sudan, from other countries. You should see the people that have fled Russia and Ukraine, that fled the wars happening in their country to come to Israel,
right?
Because it's a safer space for them. They're not Jewish,
right?
And it's all of these narratives that people aren't even getting exposed to because they've never even set foot in Israel,
right? But I mean, even just in general, like, let's just say that it's insane to say that we're white when, first of all, we always came in all different colors, right? But also, like, whether Ashkenazi, whether Sephardi, whether Mizrahi, we all descend from this region, from the Levant, from the land of Israel. Like, genetically, historically, anthropologically, like, it's a fact. And just because, for example, I don't know your background exactly, but
I'm like Eastern European vibes.
Okay, so just because some of us had this displaced experience in Europe, forced a displaced experience in Europe, doesn't mean we are from there, nor were we ever treated as being white while we were there. We were never treated as being European. Yeah. So, I mean,
I feel like the Jews are like always the odd man out, who aren't accepted anywhere. Mm-hmm. We're not white enough. Right. Like, we're not, it's crazy. But it's also what makes us so unique.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What about, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure, Israel's mentioned in the Quran like 46 times or something.
The children of Israel. Yeah.
So doesn't that kind of go against some of these arguments as well?
Well, it goes a lot deeper, where some will say the children of Israel that are mentioned in the Quran, I mean, this is their argument, we are not the same as what they're describing in the Quran. We're not the children of Israel.
Oh, got it.
We're the fake Jews. We're the the Khazar theory and all that. And listen, like, it's really interesting because I don't know if you know actually Loai al-Sharif. He's an Arab activist, and I believe he lives in the UAE.
Okay.
And he debunks all of these radical Islamists. I'll show you him after, but he debunks like all of these radical Islamist theories that that Zionism is like this plot against Muslims, and that Jews don't belong in the land of Israel. And he really follows not just the Quran, but also the Torah, which came before the Quran. So he really, I mean, he's amazing. I'll show you his stuff after. But
and there's not enough of those people, by the way, because I was thinking about this.
He even says, by the way, like, there's such a rise in radical Islam that their voices have taken over the moderate Muslim world's voices.
Someone needs to step up from that community, because listen, there's 2 billion Muslims, and I think there's over 100 million Muslims that are in the Muslim Brotherhood who all align with the radical Islamic beliefs. Right? And there's 15 million Jews. And not all Jews are proud of their Judaism, right?
So there is a lot of assimilation in America. I would say, though, a lot of Jews did wake up after October 7th. Like the assimilated Jews, a lot of them did just something kind of like woke up inside of them. They actually became woke. Yeah. In a positive way? In a positive way.
Awakened.
I like that better than woke. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I mean, obviously we still have Jews who are lost in that, and they're lost in their identity. They want to appease the non-Jewish world, and they think that we had this during the Holocaust too. We always had these types of Jews.
What does it mean? Because I think one of the most misunderstood terms is Zionist. And it seems like literally people are using the word Zionist like you're a Nazi.
Yeah.
They've made these two things equivalent. They're comparing Bibi to Hitler.
Right.
Like, it's absolute insanity what's happening. So what is a Zionist?
So first of all, Zion. What's Zion? It's Jerusalem, right? So when you're calling me or another Jew a Zionist, I mean, it's the best thing you can call us. Like, Zion is Jerusalem. So Zionist is someone who believes in the right for Jews to self-determine in the Jewish ancestral homeland of Israel. That's all it means. If you believe that Jews have the right to self-govern in their own homelands, then you're a Zionist. It's really that simple. Now, there is different types of Zionism. There is political Zionism, religious Zionism, Zionism on the right, Zionism on the left, different kinds. But the base definition of what a Zionist is that. And it's like, that's what I'm saying, though. They completely hijacked our political movement, which was Zionism, our narrative, our Jewish narrative, because we didn't communicate to the world in the right way of what Zionism is, of what our political is. And by the way, I don't even want to call it a political movement. It was an indigenous rights movement. Zionism is a political indigenous rights movement. And we did complete Zionism, right? We, as the indigenous people, the native people of this land, came back home. We revived our ancient civilization, revived our ancient language of Hebrew, and we're back home now. So Zionism, the indigenous rights movement, is done. It's over with. So it's completed.
What do you say to those people who are like, oh, I'm not anti-Semitic, I'm just anti-Zionist?
So when you are against, first of all, our Zionism has been in the mind of the Jewish mind for thousands of years. We've been praying 3 times a day towards Jerusalem with our intention. Our intention was always been to go back home to Israel. Always, since our exile. That's what we prayed for every single day. So, even at a Jewish wedding, right, when we smash the glass, right, that glass represents the destruction of our temple and in Jerusalem, and that the promise of the descendants of this couple will one day come back and revive that civilization.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Zionism has existed in our mind for thousands of years, right? So to say that you are against that, which is nationhood is a core part of Judaism, right? Like our peoplehood, our nationhood, being in our land is a huge part of Judaism. So when you're against that, then you are against the Jewish people. And so you are anti-Semitic. Sorry to say. That's just...
So anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism.
Yes, absolutely.
What's interesting, too, is these people that don't seem to believe that the Jewish people deserve their own sovereign state don't comprehend the size of this state. It's literally 1/50th the size of California.
It is.
And in addition to that, it's like, I believe there's 57 Muslim countries, over 120 Christian countries.
Right.
But when it comes to the Jewish people having one country, this tiny, that's surrounded by countries that want to annihilate and destroy it, it's like, no, unacceptable. That's too much.
Right. Well, think about who were the two biggest colonizers throughout history, the European colonizers and also Arab colonization. And it's like crazy to me that people have completely erased Arab colonialism, Arab imperialism, as if it has never existed, even though it's such a significant part of Middle Eastern history. Like, I don't understand how people are erasing thousands of years of like persecution, oppression, forced conversions, ethnic cleansing of not just Jews, by the way, of other ethnic minorities in this region, like the Kurds, like the Yazidis, like the Chaldeans, Assyrians, Copts, all of these other indigenous groups in the region. They've completely erased all of this history. And I think part of the problem is that in the West, there's sort of this concept that colonialism was only a Western European concept, when in reality, Arab colonialism happened way before there was European colonialism. Like us Middle Easterners, we already have gone through this. We've already gone through the colonialism and imperialism, which is still happening today.
Yo, you are such a wealth of knowledge. It's crazy.
Thank you.
When did you really like it's like really inspiring. It makes me want to like do more reading and research. You know what I mean? I think it's really important too, because that's probably one of the reasons why you're so connected to everything you do as well. Cause like you've studied the ancestry and like the history of so many different aspects of our people, and not just our people, but like world history. Mm-hmm. Which is lacking.
No, I it's definitely lacking in American education. I did not learn this stuff I didn't learn anything about my history as a Jew, and I didn't go to a Jewish school. I did go for a certain period, like, you know, when you're about to get like your bat mitzvah and do like a few years of school, like twice a week. So I did do that, and that's where I learned Hebrew somewhat. But I didn't know my history. Like I didn't understand like who we are as a people. I really didn't. So I had to do all of this learning on my own.
I'm curious to know, Celine, because there's a lot of ignorant people in the world. And especially when you have the courage like you to speak out for the truth and share these things that many people get triggered by. How have you been able to kind of manage your own emotions through all of this? Because you're more knowledgeable than 99.99999% of people on this topic and subject. And it doesn't really matter, right? Because people are just going to keep on commenting and messaging hate without actually understanding the facts.
Right.
So what's that process like for you?
How do I manage? Honestly, I suppressed a lot. Like after October 7th, I know I had, family members, for example, or like even friends who were like crying every day and like, really getting all their emotions out. And I was like, I don't have time to cry. Like I need to like, be on social media and do this and do that. And like, I didn't have time to really process everything. And I remember like thinking to myself, wow, I haven't even cried it all out, because I feel like every Jew was like, I mean, the ones around me at least were really feeling their emotions, and they were crying after October 7th, and I didn't. And I remember thinking like, that's weird that I'm not, like, I haven't really processed it all. And then I remember at one point I just started crying, but this was like a couple months after everything, I would say. It wasn't like, right after October 7th, but yeah, I mean, I think I was suppressing a lot for sure. And I think also being here in the war and like every day you're not sleeping. Like I didn't sleep for 1 second. Keep in mind, I'm also still working full time for, a job in the States. And so for me, it was like, it was just a lot, because I was like, I have to keep this part of my life going. And then this other part of my life is becoming a lot more intense, which was, being in Israel and like making sure that, my friends who were in war, helping them out. Like it was a lot for me. And it was my first war also. And then on top of it, having my family, like, feel like I didn't want them to feel scared for me, and I feel like for them, especially because they had escaped war, they escaped the Islamic regime to, they fled that. For them, it was a lot more intense. And for me to be in war, it was like very triggering for them. And I felt like a lot of that trauma coming onto me. Does that make sense?
The Jews have so much ancestral trauma, by the way.
So much. It's insane.
It's
no matter where we lived in the world, we have so much trauma.
But you can't talk about that because then you're playing the victim.
Right, exactly.
This is what's also hilarious is like whenever a Jewish person talks about like anti-Semitism or October 7th, automatically it's like, oh, look at you playing the victim again.
Yeah.
It's like if there's any people in the world that have the right to play the victim, it really is the Jewish people. I mean, this has been going on for thousands of years.
Right.
However, the Jews do the exact opposite. We transmute the pain into purpose. And this is really, I believe, at the root cause of why we're so hated. Because despite being 0.2% of the world's population, we have 22% of Nobel Prize winners. We're responsible for so much innovation in the world. Like if you look at this glass or this journal or this pen or this MacBook, there's a good chance a Jew created it.
Yeah, for sure.
And that frustrates a lot of people because they're like, how? Like, how are these, first of all, how are the Jewish people even still existing?
Exactly. How did we not get rid of you yet?
It's like that pesky cockroach you can't kill, right? 3 days later, they're still there. It's like, damn, they just won't go away.
Right.
Not only do we not go away, we just continue shining more light and bringing more value into the world.
So that I think that's what anti-Semites' role in our little, playbook is that they're here to awaken us. And I feel like that's every single time we're dealing with anti-Semitic incidents or whatever, pogrom, massacre, Holocaust, whatever it is, that is meant to awaken us and get to where we're supposed to be and really shine our light in this world.
Is there a way to have that awakening without something really traumatic needing to happen though?
Yeah, but but we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. We're not acting like how we should be acting like as Jews, in my opinion. It's a little controversial, so I won't get too into it.
No, I'm curious to know.
I think that our role and purpose in this world is tikkun olam and or laguim, right? To be a light into this and onto all the nations, right? And we're not necessarily playing that role. And so the anti-Semites' natural reaction is to hate us until we get to that level that we're supposed to get to. I think it's a lot deeper and more spiritual. And honestly, I think throughout the time, I really began to understand the deeper meaning behind anti-Semitism and why we experience it. And it's very deeply spiritual, and I feel like a lot of Jews don't really want to understand it.
Is it like a collective tikkun almost?
It is. I think so. Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's what I would say.
Okay. Speaking of tikkun, what would you say going through a lot of your personal journey and like inner work, studying Kabbalah, all of the things that you've personally experienced in your life, what would you say is the biggest tikkun that you had to heal from?
That's so deep. Okay. I feel like by the way, I think that we all have more than one tikkun. I don't think like there's just one tikkun.
For sure.
But I think one of my tikkun is to allow myself to grow to the place, to my highest self that I'm supposed to be getting to. And I feel like, I mean, I don't know if that's a tikkun though.
No, like for me, for example, one of my major tikkuns is fear of abandonment.
Oh, okay.
Like through the stuff that I went through with my brother.
Right.
And like having these emotional wounds that were impacting every area of my life. And then understanding like, okay, how can I transcend this? How can I heal from this in a way that actually allows me to help other people on their journey as well, right? Because at the end of the day, I feel like our tikkun is there. So once we overcome it and heal from it, we're in position to help others on their journey as well.
Right.
And that's our unique path, like our unique purpose.
Right. Okay, I like that. Okay, so I think actually one of my tikkuns is surrendering control. Like stop trying to control so much. And I feel like, yeah, you could see that. Damn it. Okay. So I feel like for me, one of my things throughout my life was always like, I need to control everyone around me, everything around me. And now I feel like I've gotten to a place somewhat where I really recognize it. And I'm like, okay, I need to, and by the way, I think this is a tikkun of many women. I don't think I think it's like a women's tikkun situation, like a feminine tikkun.
Okay.
Right? Like I feel like we have a problem with just surrendering control. And for me, I think this is like one of my biggest tikkuns is surrendering control and just I have emunah, I have bitachon, but I feel like a higher level of that would be like in like trusting Hashem, you have to really like let go. And stop trying to control like timelines and all of that stuff. Like I feel like that for me is something that I more recently realized and that I've surrendered, I think.
Is there something that happened like early in your life or childhood or some relationship that made it really challenging for you to fully let go?
So I don't know if this could be like a reason why, but I am the oldest daughter in the family. And I feel like, I don't know if anyone else is the oldest daughter who's listening and who can relate, but for me, I always was like, I don't know, like I held so much on my back, like I or on my shoulders. Like I feel like I was responsible for everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that could have been something that made me feel like I need to control more, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you kind of had to, brother, when you leave, can you just close the door so we don't hear the noise from over there? So it seems like maybe you were playing like a motherly type role early on in your life, which didn't maybe allow you to fully receive some of the support and nurturing that maybe you were craving as a child. Like every kid needs a certain level of nourishment and affection and attention, right? So maybe you almost adulted like prematurely. Yeah. Right?
That could be it, honestly.
Yeah. So that's really interesting though. I think, what I'm learning too is like like almost an attachment and addiction to control is really just a lack of trust in some element.
Yeah, it is.
Where it's like, okay, how can I, especially because you're a super successful young woman and you wouldn't have gotten to where you are by like just fully surrendering. Like it took massive action. Yeah. It took consistent
discipline,
work.
Yeah, a lot.
So it's like, okay, how can you balance those amazing skills and traits and also infuse like a little more softness?
Yeah. So I had to learn that.
Yeah.
I think especially, I feel like especially within this year, I've really been learning to just like also tap into my feminine, like my feminine side more.
Are you ready to feel limitless in 2025? I'm talking limitless physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, financially. This is your sign to try out microdosing for 30 days. We have a very special opportunity for podcast listeners. You can get started for only $222. This includes the medicine being shipped to you, the highest quality, fair trade, organic, sustainably sourced microdoses in the world at your doorstep. And you also get access to live group coaching calls with me, our private community. This is your sign to take ownership of your life in 2025. If you're ready, hit the link in the description, and I can't wait to see you on the inside.
But yeah, for sure.
What are some of the things you've been doing differently that have allowed you to access that?
Gratitude.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing morning prayers, and I feel like, yeah, I love your videos. No, because it does inspire other Jews. Like your videos, whether you think so or not, really do inspire other Jews to be like, wow, maybe, if he's so like excited and feeling good about saying Modani, then, definitely inspirational. So for me, morning prayers, gratitude, I've been writing down everything that I'm grateful for every single day. 10 things. I make a list.
In the morning?
I try to do it in the morning. I don't always have time because I do like Modani and other, like I try to do a little bit of shacharit, which is the morning prayers. So I do that kind of like midday. It depends. Like if I'm in Tel Aviv, I'll have like, I'll just kind of like go by the beach and I'll just write down like everything I'm thankful for. And it's just everything that just pops into my mind. Yeah. You know what I mean? And yeah, so usually like midday, I feel like that's when I do it.
By the way,
I feel like is the best.
I feel like it's I feel like if someone is lost in terms of like, okay, when I do a prayer session, like what do I do? Like and for me, literally, like I did this last night at like 2 a.m. at the Kotel. I literally just out loud just thank God for all the blessings. Like, thank you for my parents. Thank you for my brother. Thank you for all the obstacles. Thank you for my 2 eyes that can see. Like literally just nonstop. Yeah. And don't ask for anything. I feel like just giving full gratitude for all the blessings you already have in your life will just attract more.
Absolutely.
More of that energy.
Absolutely.
And the truth is, like, I know I personally spent most of my life taking for granted all of the simple things, like all the basic luxuries. Yeah. And just taking that moment is powerful. Yeah. So gratitude, there's got to be some other things you've done.
Working out, but also I've been learning different types of workouts specific for me. I feel like as women, we have to be careful, at least for me. Like I'm speaking for myself.
For sure.
So when I go hard on my workouts, and I did do this for like, I think it was like 2 weeks where I was going every day and I was just kind of going really hard on my workouts. And I feel like that spiked up my cortisol. Yeah. And it just didn't make me feel good. Like working out is supposed to make you feel good. Like it made me feel good in the moment or like, an hour after, whatever. But like I overall was not feeling like feminine, And so I feel like for me, the types of workouts I've been really leaning towards is like more yoga, more Pilates. That is where I feel like most feminine, not like.
Are you doing that pretty much every day? Some sort of workout?
I stopped working out after my cortisol went up.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to just like take a break. I walk a lot, which I feel like is good for my body. Yeah. I know people are like walking doesn't do anything, but like for me, it's like, I don't know, it's really great for me personally. But yeah, I'm getting back into yoga and bar, and I feel like that is where I can feel my best doing those workouts.
Yeah, we were talking about this briefly last night when you were asking me about ice baths for women. Yeah. And this doesn't get talked about. And by the way, what's interesting too is if you look at like pretty much every single research and data on like new supplements or new diets, they do these studies on men a majority of the time. Right? And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. And one of the big reasons is women are way less predictable. Right. You have the luteal phase, the follicular phase, ovulation, menstruation. So you have these 4 different times of the month that women go through where their hormones are fluctuating, their emotions are fluctuating, their energy is fluctuating. Yeah. And you need to take that into account. Men and women are very different.
Very different. Like you guys are pretty much the same every single day.
We have a 24-hour cycle and women have a 28-day cycle.
Exactly. Like every day for a woman is different. And I feel like men don't really understand this. Like for me, even by the way with sleeping, like I think women need more sleep than men. Yeah. Like you guys can sleep like 6-7 hours.
I wish I was getting that much.
Okay, well that's crazy that you're getting less, but I'm just saying like you guys can do 6-7 hours and you're great. Like the next day for me, it's like I feel sluggish. I don't feel like I can complete, what I'm supposed to complete with that many hours of sleep. I need like at least 8 hours, But yeah, and I've been getting more, like learning more about my cycle, like, learning about cycle syncing and all of that. And I feel like that's also helped me in a lot of ways, like helping me understand like, oh, like this is how you're going to feel. Like you might be feeling like this today, and I have like an app, but whatever.
Is it Flow?
Yeah.
Nice. That's probably, honestly, any woman, that's probably one of the best things they can do right now is download the Flow app. I think there's a couple more. Track your cycle.
Yeah. And
another thing that's crazy is like most women in America, 13, 14 years old, they're fed birth control. This contraceptive, right? And they're never made aware of how much that's actually damaging their health, fluctuating their hormones.
Affecting them, yeah, for sure.
It's affecting their mental health. It's affecting their skin, like all of these things, their gut microbiome.
For sure.
And when in reality, women can actually only get pregnant like 5 days out of the month.
Yeah.
So if women were actually taught these things early on in life, they would have so much more self-awareness and connection to their bodies.
Right.
But instead, our society almost likes to
shove like artificial and whatever, like birth control and stuff like that down our throats. And for everything, by the way. Yeah. Your skin's not, you have like hormonal pimples, acne, whatever. Birth control.
It's like crazy that they're giving girls birth control to improve their acne. Like that is absolutely insane.
Yeah, like
it makes no sense.
It's not going to solve the issue, first of all. Like maybe it'll help, short term, but like long term, that's not going to solve. It's an internal issue that you have. If you have a hormonal imbalance, you need to solve from within. You need to maybe eat different foods. Maybe you need to exercise, whatever. Like maybe there needs to be a different exercise, whatever it is. But like, it's crazy.
There's also something to be said about, especially like in the West. And again, I'm not a woman, so I can't speak about firsthand experience, but like, I feel like our culture and society almost is grossed out by a woman having a period, right? It's like, don't talk about it, like go in the bathroom, whatever, right? In other cultures, indigenous cultures, like in Central and South America, like having your period is one of the most sacred things. In fact, the energy of a woman going through that is so strong that they're often not able to join, like, for instance, an ayahuasca ceremony. I was in Costa Rica 2 months ago, sat with ayahuasca, and on the last night, the women who were going through their period, they couldn't sit in with ceremony with us because the shaman said the energy is so strong, so they had like their own separate ceremony.
Oh, interesting! I didn't know this.
Yeah, and that's again like. One of the things that I think honestly, if a woman understands her cycle better, not only will it take her relationship with herself to the next level, but also men should be conscious of this so they can hold space for women better. Because if I know you're going through ovulation versus your follicular phase, then I know, okay, your emotions are different. I know I need to show up more patient, more calm, more grounded, like really make sure that you are like taken care of.
But it depends on the man as well. Like the man needs to be able to understand what you're saying. Yeah. In order to feel like it's not even empathy. It's just like understanding that she's going through whatever she's going through. Like men will never be able to understand fully, but like you are like, okay, I want to be able to understand. Like if you're going through this, then I need to be more like this. Like I like that.
Yeah. I actually created this. I'll share it with you. We created this. That's basically like, it's a cycle guide. It's like a free guide. It's a 28-day cycle syncing guide.
I want that.
Yeah, no, I'll link it actually in the show notes. But look, I created this. I mean, it's not like crazy, like advanced, but it basically says like, it gives you like menstruation, right? And it gives you best nutrition, best fitness, right? Like self-care mindset, right? So you can see, like during the menstrual phase, days 1 to 5, hormones like estrogen and progesterone are at their lowest. So your energy is going to be low, right? And you're going to be very sensitive and your body's craving rest. So this is the time when you should definitely avoid hard workouts. You should avoid ice baths, and you should do more restful things like yoga, stretching, maybe prioritizing more sleep. And then as you move into these different phases, it shifts.
Right.
So if you're a woman and you're treating your body the same all 30 days of the month, you're doing a massive disservice to yourself.
Right. And that's how, by the way, I feel like that's most women who are living in America, for example. It's like living like how a man would be living like. And it's not right.
Yeah. So
for sure.
In Kabbalah, they also say that, and it kind of goes exactly to what we were talking about with like the different cycles.
Yeah.
Like men are like the sun.
Yeah. And
they bring the light.
Yeah.
Men have a 24-hour cycle. And then women are like the moon. They're the vessel.
Yeah.
And they have a 28-day cycle. Their body and their hormones are directly synced up to the moon.
Right.
It's like this ancient technology that provides so much wisdom.
So true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the sun and the moon need to coexist.
Exactly.
Like they are shining the brightest when they're working together.
Exactly.
And that's how you complement each other.
When the divine masculine, the divine feminine are balanced.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's interesting. I can't remember who I heard that from, but it was like.
I think Gedalia.
Maybe Gedalia.
Gedalia Fenster, yeah. Because I remember listening to.
Did you hear our podcast together?
Yeah, I did. I told you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. You told me at Levy's concert.
Yeah, it was very. I feel like every man needs to listen to that podcast, but also like Gedalia, I feel like men need to listen to him. Like he really is speaking to men.
Yeah.
I love listening to him. I listen to him every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We should take a video. I'll take a video and send it to him.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna try to make his Miami talk. I think it's next or 2 weeks.
It's on my birthday,
When's
September
your birthday?
10th.
Oh,
You're
so
gonna
you're
be in
Virgo.
America?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm having a big.
I leave August 31st.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, you should go. For sure. And I was talking about this with him because like he also said something that's really powerful to me. He said, sexual impurity equals poverty.
Right.
And I think as a man, like this is the most important thing to understand.
Yep.
Like being a slave to your desires and instant gratification is going to hold you back in every single capacity, which is why one of the most important things that I've been learning on my journey is like how to really channel that sexual energy in a positive, productive way.
Right.
Like using it towards my work, towards business, towards my workouts, and not giving in to every single desire. Yeah.
So I want to say something about that because I have listened to Gedalia talk about that, and he's right, obviously, but I wouldn't even say it's just like sexual energy. It could also just be trying to get attention from women, or it could be like, you know, like going and talking to a million different girls, knowing that none of those girls are for you. That could also be it, I feel like. And I see my guy friends do that, by the way. Like they'll go and they'll talk to this girl and that girl just to get like
it's validation,
get energy from them. And I'm like, why are you like, you know, this girl is not for you. So why are you even messaging her? And they don't even know why they do it. Like they just, it's to seek validation. It's to get energy from a girl or whatever, from a woman. But like, so it's not just even sexual. It's not even just like going and hooking up and whatever, physical contact. It's also going and messaging a bunch of girls knowing that they're not for you. Like, and I
see this shit all the time.
All the time.
I don't wanna expose any of my boys on this podcast.
Expose them all. Names, full names.
No, it's so
Kidding.
funny though. It's crazy, honestly, how much energy
Yeah.
men give to,
The wrong women.
yeah, just like women in general. Like it's,
Yeah, but also it's like if you genuinely want to go get married, find your soulmate, which by the way is on the man. It's the man's mitzvah to go find a woman and get married. It's not the mitzvah
So
of a
good.
woman. So like if that is what you're supposed to be doing as a masculine man and you're going instead and talking to a bunch of girls and you're
Yeah.
a grown man, then like you're just pushing your soulmate farther away.
Yeah.
She's not going to want anything to do with you.
yeah. It was so it's really interesting about the whole soulmate conversation. And I asked, like, and I'm sure you're familiar, but like, as Jews, we believe that we have multiple soulmates.
So we do have multiple like soulmates, like you said, and it just depends on which level you're really at.
Exactly.
But there is that, and this is what I always have prayed for, specifically highest soulmate. So, but when I say highest soulmate, I'm saying I want that higher soulmate that I'm not necessarily at my highest. Obviously, I'm always going to be growing, right?
Yeah.
But that person that's going to want to grow with you.
Yeah.
That's your highest soulmate, that
Yeah.
person that you're going to want to grow together to your highest selves with. So that is like, I think, I don't remember where I learned to pray specifically for highest soulmate. I think
I
it
like
was
that.
like from a rabbi from like a long time ago that was telling me this. I was in my, I think, early 20s.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, like, yeah, I don't want just a soulmate. I want my highest soulmate.
Yes.
So I think
it's so good.
praying for that is really important.
And this is exactly why too so many marriages end.
Right.
This is why so many relationships fail, is because this person who you thought to be your soulmate,
Right.
and they might have been your soulmate at that certain frequency and vibration that you were living your life from. But
Right.
as you ascend spiritually and you evolve, if that person is staying stagnant, you are no longer going to align with them. You're no longer
Right.
going to feel that connection. So now you're ascending, and now hopefully there's a soulmate
Right.
that is waiting for you to match their vibration,
Right.
which is a similar concept.
But that individual who you no longer match with could, if they were in the mindset of like, I want to grow also, that's like your highest soulmate. But like, if they're not, then
I think that's the most important quality for
yeah.
when deciding who to get in a relationship with. I literally think that's the most important quality. Is this person willing to grow and become the best version of themselves every single day?
Exactly.
And as long as there's alignment there, then it's like, okay, maybe you're not exactly where I would envision you to be in some
Right.
area of your life,
Yeah.
but you always are committed to evolving and learning and growing. And as long as we're aligned in that area, I feel like there's congruence.
Right. And also it's also realizing that you're not perfect. Like everyone comes with their own baggage, whether it's from childhood or whatever, from past relationships, whatever it is, everyone comes with their own baggage. And it's realizing that you do have certain maybe unhealed wounds, or you have certain baggage that you're coming into this relationship with and that you need to heal.
Yeah.
So I think it's also, it's like understand, it's like the person needs to understand that or recognize that they want to grow every single day, but also recognize that they have certain things that they need to fix. They need to be able to be aware of those things,
Yeah. What I was going to say is, it's crazy. Even like on this bus to Jerusalem last night, I'm with a couple of friends on there, and like literally all they're talking about is girls, right? And like,
Yeah.
and one of them's almost 40, and like he's expressed to me multiple times like that he's super committed to finding his life partner and all of these things, but the actions are out of alignment.
It's one thing to say it, and it's one thing to actually make that happen.
Yeah.
Which a man could. Like if
So-
a man, yeah.
But what I was also thinking about, and I also think about this with myself, I'm like, I always ask myself the question, where am I leaking energy? Like, what people am I spending time with that are no longer aligned?
Right.
What habits am I still falling into that don't serve my best self? Where am I pouring energy that doesn't necessarily deserve it?
Right. Exactly.
Because energy is our most valuable resource.
For sure. Energy. Everything is energy.
So going back to that, like, I was like, dude, I'm just with them right now on this bus ride, but this is probably like a consistent theme all day. I'm like, yo, you're spending 5 or 6 hours like chasing women, whether it's on social media, on different dating apps. I'm like, bro, what if you actually put that time and energy into your purpose, into your life's mission, and you continue to ascend spiritually? Like, then you don't even have to put any energy into that.
No, but then it's wrong to say that a man shouldn't be putting energy into finding his person or chasing the right one. I want to say the right one, not
for sure. I'm just saying from like a spiritual perspective,
right.
If you invested 80% of that time and energy that you're putting into chasing women into your purpose and your mission, you're going to become the version of yourself that's going to attract a much higher quality partner.
I agree with that, but I also think 100% I agree with that. But I also think that a man, I think it was Kadalia or it was David Guillaume that was talking about this, where men are so, most men really want to go they're so stuck on their purpose and their mission in the world, but they need to recognize that they also need to put in time for finding the right woman.
Yeah.
So it needs to be a balance, I would say.
Sure.
It's not just about attracting, like the man needs to go be active in putting the work in.
Yeah.
For women, I think it's different. I think for women, it's more like we are just being.
Just magnetizing,
just being. And then for us, it's like, then we'll attract it. But like for men, I think you guys need to be active players and going and finding the right girl.
You're telling men to be players right now.
No, I'm not saying it in a way.
I know.
Hold on. I'm not saying it. Let me clarify. I'm not saying go chase after women that you know are not for you, which was what I was saying before. Go find your soulmate. Go find the right girl for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, like if you know that a girl, like if you're just going and hooking up around, like, no, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, that's another thing too, that I'm always, again, doing my best to remind myself is like the energy that you exchange when you get intimate with someone.
Including kissing, by the way.
Yeah. Like you're exchanging DNA just through making out with someone.
Yeah.
So you have to ask yourself the question, like, yo, is this someone I want to exchange DNA with? Their past, their traumas.
All of it. Just from kissing.
Yeah.
You're exchanging so much energy just from kissing. So I think it's like when a guy tells me like, oh, whatever, like I'm thinking of my guy friends. I have a lot of guy friends. And when they're telling me, like, yeah, like we hooked up, but like not sex. I'm like, so what? Like you still made out with this girl. Like you still kissed this girl.
Right.
Like for me, it's like the same thing. It's not really, I don't know. That's what I think.
Well, yeah, it's a crazy energetic exchange.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And especially like the more you evolve spiritually, the more you actually understand how powerful and potent, like even just making out with someone is.
Yeah.
So it's just an opportunity to like check in with ourselves and be like, yo, is this someone that I really want to exchange DNA with right now?
Yeah.
You know? And if so, amazing.
Right. But I feel like this is not spoken about to young boys or whatever, even to men in general. Like it's just not something that is talked about.
Yeah.
And
Well, we have like men. It's crazy also how men will use women to get other validation from men. Like it's like, yo, look at who I pulled. Look at who I talked to.
Yes.
Right. And that's also a big thing.
Well, I mean, are you talking about grown men?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like they try and seek validation from
I'm not
other
saying,
men?
by the way, this isn't like, I'm not saying like all men.
No,
I'm just saying it's like.
I could see that actually, like men being like trying to show off.
Yeah, because it's like.
women that they pulled.
There's so much, there's again, and this is, there's we all have two voices that are constantly speaking to us, right?
Yeah.
We have
The Yetzer Hara.
our ego
Yeah.
and we have our highest self.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with that is sometimes the ego is much louder than our highest self.
Right.
And the way
It's the
that
evil
you
inclination.
exactly, and the way that you connect with your highest self on a more frequent basis is you have to get quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You have to connect to your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get really good at listening.
Right.
And you have to get really good at being able to identify when it's your ego and telling it to shut the fuck up and be like, yo, bro,
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But I don't need you right now.
Yeah.
You're not serving my highest self.
Actually, no, but the evil inclination is serving your higher self. Imagine you didn't have the Yetzer Hara. Imagine you didn't have the evil inclination. You wouldn't be getting to your higher self. So the evil inclination is actually helping you get to your higher self.
Yeah.
So the evil inclination is actually good.
I agree with that actually.
Yeah. I
agree with that 100% because like if it wasn't there, we wouldn't really be able to necessarily identify one between the other. It's really just about like building a relationship with it.
Yeah.
Right? Like people, you hear it all the time in the psychedelic community. Oh, I had an ego death. I did mushrooms and my ego dissolved.
Yeah, I've heard this before.
And I'm actually not a fan of that at all.
I don't really understand that, by the way.
It's basically like
you're understanding you're acting from like a
you experience essentially all of our fear and insecurity is coming from our ego.
right.
So
Okay.
when you feel that part of you dissolve, it's almost like you're connecting to your most authentic self.
Okay,
And
got
your
it.
highest self. Because if you take yourself and you remove the fears, you remove the insecurities, you remove the traumas,
Yeah.
like you're completely unflawed. You're perfect, whole, and complete.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we're already perfect, whole, and complete, even with our flaws and
Right.
imperfections. As long as we're conscious and aware of them, though.
Right.
It's not about like eliminating them. It's like
Working on them.
exactly. It's
sure.
recognizing them, using them as a tool of awareness, and then doing whatever necessary work to heal from them and transcend.
Which is, by the way, what we have to do this month of Elul is it's the month of return or teshuvah, but it's not just about the energy of like repenting or, repentance. It's about like coming back to your truest, highest self and also to Hashem. So that's what this month is all about, actually, is returning back to your true, authentic, highest self. Yeah.
And it was the last Rosh Chodesh before Rosh Hashanah, right?
So we have the next, I think we have 40 days starting from Rosh Chodesh, which was a few days ago.
Yeah.
Or 2 days ago. What day are we? Yeah, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I don't even know what day we're in.
I'm not the best guy to ask about dates.
But so I think it was 2 days ago. So starting from then until Yom Kippur, we have 40 days. And so you have 40 days to kind of correct whatever it is that you feel like you need to correct. Like it could be like a tikkun that you want to correct or something that you want to work on. And so you have the 40 days to do that. And actually the sages say this month is when like the king is in the fields, aka Hashem is, literally here with us. His divine presence is stronger than ever right now. So literally the energy of this month.
Wow. This is, I feel like we could go for a couple rounds. We have to do
I know.
We might have to make this like
good.
a consistent theme.
Let's do it.
Like every month or something. Next one we'll do in Jerusalem.
Let's do it in Jerusalem.
Let's go.
Or in Miami if you're going to be in Miami.
I don't have any plans to go there.
You said
You're probably going to be in Miami before I am.
Yeah.
But I think that's also interesting too. Listen, it's also very interesting being in Israel and being in Tel Aviv. I'm curious to know what you think, but like I told you, here it's like there's so many.
It's very different, Jerusalem from Tel Aviv. Is that what you're trying to say?
I was going to say, what I was actually going to say is like, it's actually challenging. It's so, for instance, in Miami, right? You go to a Jewish event, maybe there's a couple people you're attracted to, right? It's like a very small pool.
In Miami.
yes.
Okay.
I would say that if you're committed to like just dating a Jewish person.
Right.
But you come to Tel Aviv, you come to Israel, and like a majority of the people are Jewish, and it's like almost overstimulating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it also takes time to like get grounded and be like, okay, there's a lot of options, but like at the end of the day, it's a constant recalibration with your highest self.
Right.
You know?
I feel like for a man, that's more, yeah. I could see that from like a male's perspective. Like there's so many options.
Yeah. Do you not feel the same way as a woman?
Personally, no. I feel like, and I've met amazing men in Israel. But I feel like, I don't know. And I was actually talking about this with a female friend of mine who said like, she feels like that there are more options for men, in terms of women, and, not so much for women for, with men. And I kind of agree with her a little bit on that, but I don't know.
Interesting. I feel the complete opposite in Miami, at least.
Oh, in Miami.
I feel like I have so many amazing friends, like amazing eligible dudes who are like incredible people in many different ways.
But no girls.
Not no girls,
okay.
Right? But like, again, I think a lot of Miami, I think I think Miami has a negative influence on most women.
Men.
Not so much actually.
Really?
I would say
but like the partying and the access to girls and the whatever, like
I would say it all comes down to like your energy and your vibration, however you're operating your life. For me personally, like I rarely go out in Miami, and I have zero FOMO. Like I'm not like, oh my gosh, I wish I was fucking at 11 right now popping bottles and like getting drunk off my face.
Step into that place.
Yeah. I never have FOMO when I'm there. Literally never.
Yeah.
Here I have FOMO all the time though. I'm like, there's so much fun stuff going on. Like, you know what I mean? But now that I'm staying here longer, but what I was going to say is, I think even the Israeli girls I've met in Miami have allowed like the Miami lifestyle to cloud their judgment and to really, I don't want to say like override their Israeli values and culture, but in a way it kind of has. Because when you're building this, you're setting a precedent for like going on a yacht or getting a table at this place as like your first date or your second date. It's like,
for sure.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but it's also like part of the reality of the situation.
For sure. I didn't live in Miami, so I don't know how it is there.
Yeah.
But
LA's probably got similar type energy in a way.
Yeah. Materialistic.
But I think it's so important. I think what you mentioned is so important. And it's so clear to me. It's interesting because you'll see the smartest, most successful men in the world make the worst decision when it comes to their life partner.
Yeah.
And it literally makes their life miserable because they have all the money and all the resources, but now they have split custody with their kids. They just have so much tension with this ex-wife or two ex-wives, and like they're lacking peace.
Right.
And I think as I get older and like I talk to my friends, I feel like peace is one of the number one things that we crave in our relationship.
Especially, I think, a man.
Yeah.
Because you're going out into the world and you're carrying so much, I feel like, as a man. There's so much heaviness that you can carry from just your day-to-day role in the world. And I feel like you want to come home to a peaceful home.
Yes.
But I think that the peace also starts with you as the man, too.
Yeah.
Like, you have a role to play. You can't just be like, oh, I expect my... Gedalia talks about this, actually. He's like, happy, he like talks about it all the time. Like, happy wife, happy life. Like, you have a part to play in making sure that your woman is happy and satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like and it's also like a peaceful home and like a grounded partner is also like the fuel for a man being able to create more abundance in the world.
Absolutely.
Because like if we feel like, yo, I'm just taken care of, I'm supported, like my woman's got my back, I can just go out there and fucking like crush it.
Yeah.
Then it's like I'm that much more energized and inspired to just like take care of things.
Exactly.
You know?
Do you feel like as a man, support is like number one for you? Like,
what do you mean support?
Like receiving support from your woman.
I think support comes in different ways.
Okay.
I'm very familiar with like my love languages.
Okay, I was just gonna say like.
So I know kind of like
what your needs are.
Yeah. I know what my needs are, and I also know like how much I provide, like how much love I provide someone. And for me and like the work that I'm doing, I definitely do feel like I need to be with someone who like fully supports my vision, who doesn't make me feel guilty for like making it a priority and stuff like that.
Right.
For me, that's super important because I've been in situations where it was the opposite and it was just not good. It was like constant tension. When in reality, I just want to be able to like bring as much light into the world.
Right.
That's really what it's all about.
Yes, but if you're in a relationship, your duty is also to make your woman feel like she's actually priority.
For sure. 100%.
To make her feel like that.
100%.
While you do what you need to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier to carry out that work and that purpose when you do have this support. That's all I'm saying.
For sure. 100%.
But that's why it's so important to continue doing the work on yourself.
Yeah.
Because it can be like triggering, like, oh, he's making this a priority. Like I'm not good enough to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's insecurity.
Exactly.
For sure.
So it's just, it all comes down, it literally all comes down to
personal,
constantly evolving yourself and doing the work it requires to become just a more intentional version of yourself.
Exactly.
It literally all comes down to that. Like I'm thinking now, because I built this WhatsApp community of like over 1,000 people all in Israel, and people just started dropping like, hey, I'm 32, I'm from New York, I'm single, if anyone's. So people
in the group that you created.
Yeah, and I was like, guys, this is awesome. Like I'm cool. I'm happy to be a shidduch.
Yeah, you're like creating,
But and like 4 or 5 people from the group are like dating now.
No
like legit.
way.
And, I'm about to get.
That's so cool.
But like I told them, I was like, I'm going to start another group.
Okay.
Because I don't want to spam this group, right? This group's for like events and stuff like that. So I started something called Ahava Awakened.
Oh, I love that.
Right?
That's so cute.
And I'm thinking of like, I'm actually like thinking of how I can grow this into something that's bigger, because so much of the dating world and matchmaking is based on like, hey, you're 30, you have this job, you went to this school, these are your interests, let me find this guy for you who I think would be a good match. But at the end of the day, the best way to match someone is like if they're actually doing the work within themselves. Right. So it's like personal development.
For sure.
And in that process, it's like, okay, I'm gonna connect with someone who's also on this journey of just becoming the best version of themselves.
Right. That's true.
Ahava Awakened.
I like that. No, I really like that.
We also got Neshama Awakened.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I just launched that. What's
that one?
That's like a 6-week program where it's going to be like one weekly in-person session with me. It's like we're going to have 20 people in it.
Cool.
And I'm just, it has 4 pillars. And it's basically just like, we're going to meet up, and it's basically just teaching them the very basic foundations to master their physiology, their breath, and also like have the emotional awareness to identify certain patterns. Wow. So Neshama Awakened, Ahava Awakened.
Kol hakavod.
Thank you. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you're feeling called to share?
No, I think we talked about everything pretty much. Right? I don't know.
Is there something else?
No?
Mm-mm. Amazing. I had such a good time connecting.
Me too. This was a good conversation.
It was great. We'll definitely have a round 2.
Yes.
Comment below if you want a round 2 with Celine.
Comment below.
Celine.
That you want a round 2.
Celine, I feel like you've gotten more comfortable as the conversation has gone.
I definitely did.
Right?
I will admit, I am a little bit shy at first. Like when people meet me, I'm a little bit shy, but then I warm up.
Yeah.
It just takes me a minute.
Celine, I just want to acknowledge you. Thank you for everything you're doing in the world.
Thank you.
It's
for
very
everything you're doing.
inspiring to see all of the knowledge and wisdom you have, and like the success you've created, the impact you've created, and doing so in a way that's truly aligned and willing to speak up on things that are unpopular and being willing to be unliked and unfollowed. You know, it takes a lot of courage. So you're making your ancestors proud every day.
I hope so.
And yeah, thank you so much for blessing us with your energy.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing. Much love, y'all. You did it. You made it to the end of the show. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, your support in listening to this podcast. And really, my mission here is to deliver the best conversations, the best people, so you can continue elevating and becoming the best version of yourself. And all that I ask in return is that you actually take action on the things that we talk about in these conversations, whether it's certain habits to implement or certain thought patterns or belief systems that you want to reprogram and remove from your life. I just want to remind you that your life is your gift and you are the creator. You are the main character of your movie. So please, please take action on these things we discuss. And tag me on social media. Tag me on Instagram in your stories at Jeremy Awakens. Let me know what stood out the most to you. Let me know what were some powerful moments for you from this conversation. And finally, if you haven't already done so, it would mean the world if you left a review for the podcast. Word of mouth is our oxygen. This is what allows us to reach more people and impact more lives. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you next time.